Hey guys, and welcome back to the shop this week. And for this What's in My Shop, I have the Victorian desktop again, and a bunch of cherry, and a cat. Hi cat. Hey guys, welcome to the shop again this week, and in this What's in My Shop, I have a cat. What? That's not for you. Anyway, so I have the Victorian desktop again, and I have a whole stack of cherry. And I guess I'll start with the Victorian desktop, and I got finish applied to it this past week. And got that all ready to go, and I've started reassembling it. I have the side panels are both back on. I have the metal that I had painted, and the back panel I'll put together and put onto the case. I have the USB 3.0 ports installed in the top. I have obviously the corner braces for the front window or side window, I guess, are in. I have the rear IO shield, but that's just a snap-in thing. So I got the feet on, and that's about it as far as how much I've put back together since getting the finish. And I just have to finish that off. I need to wire up a switch still. I have to solder the terminals onto the little pins that I need to go to the motherboard. So that is one thing I have to do yet. And then it's just installing the system. I have to put the actual window in it, the front grate on it, and then keep my cat from getting in trouble. Yeah, so anyway, getting the system installed, and then I have to bend some acrylic tubing, and then it'll be time to actually get that thing running. Nope, you're wrong. So, getting pretty excited about that. I'm happy to get that out of the shop soon, I hope. Just if nothing else, because then I can completely move on to other things without having to worry about it. And speaking of other things, this stack of cherries started out as a couple of rough boards. Some of them more rough than others. There's some pieces I had to work around where they had, like this one, there's splits all over. But, not in that one. All that kind of fun. But anyway, so this stack, this is what I still have left. I've got two 18 by 4 inch pieces, a 1.5 by 22, and a pair of 18 by 1.5 inch pieces. And these are the only 3 pieces that I've done so far, that I've gotten done. And I am milling all of these up by hand. I'm using my wooden jack plane, and then my 5.5 and my Sigley number 7 are back there. So that's what I'm using to mill these up. They're down to about 5/8. I'm not really being all that picky. I mean, some of them are thicker, some of them are thinner, but I mean, they'll be far enough apart that I don't think it'll really matter. So as long as I don't really notice, I won't care. It's a lot of work milling all of this down to size by hand. I mean, I cross-cut all these pieces by hand, I ripped them by hand, I'm planing them by hand, and as you can see, taking off a bit of material. Some of them were kind of cupped and bowed, mainly the 22-inch long pieces, and I think there's another couple of pieces in here that are, this one came from that same board, it's pretty cupped, but so that's kind of why these ended up a little bit thinner, well, quite a bit thinner than the original stock that they came from. Just kind of trying to get that flat. So, that's another project that's coming up. I hope to get that done in the next month. It's not too difficult, so I'll be sharing some more of that as I go, and I will also be sharing that once it's done. So other than that, I really haven't done much else. I'm trying to think. So then the final thing that I did this week is when I started milling up these boards. All good projects start with a side-tracked another project. So that's what these are. I took a piece of scrap. I had it in my work or tool chest rather for a little while. It was an angled piece. It was just one long piece that was at one point angled. And I was going to use it to reinforce the top where the screws were, because I thought the screws were going to be too long. But then it actually turned out that they weren't, and they didn't come all the way through. So I'm actually fine on those. So I took this back out and I used it because it was scrap. So I just made a pair of winding sticks with some Paduke from that Cardinal that I had cut out before. I had some scrap pieces that I just kind of cut and then inlaid on my winding sticks. And so those are what I've been using when I've been milling up these boards, just kind of eyeballing it to make sure that things are not twisted on me when I'm done. So that was the other shop project, or the shop project, I guess. I haven't really done any other shop projects in a while. So that's all I have for this week. So thanks for checking it out, and hopefully I'll be back next week with some more. Although with the holiday weekend, well, it's the holiday weekend, my brother's graduation, and my wedding anniversary. So I may not do a whole lot of woodworking between when this video comes out and when I'd be doing the next one, but hopefully I'll have at least a short update on the Victorian desktop, maybe a system install. I don't know if I'll have all the acrylic bent yet or not, but we'll see. Hopefully that'll be in there, and depending on when they get the article out for the hanging and the balance, that's the Nook competition build that I was doing, they might get that out in time for the video next week. If not, hopefully the following week. Anyway, thanks for checking it out, and I will catch you later.